राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। नमः विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिने नमः। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे, निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you very much for your kind association. Let's get started with our Bhakti Vaibhava study of Granthraj Srīmad Bhāgavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Etavan Sankhya Yoga Bhyam Swadharma Parinishthaya Janma Labha Parapumsam Ante Narayana Smriti. अकाम सर्व कामो वा मोक्ष काम उदारधि, तीव्रेण भक्ति योगेन यजेत पुरुषं परम्। अहम एवासमेवाग्रे नान्यद्यत्सद् असत्परम्, पश्चादहं यदेतच्च यो वशिष्येत सोऽहम्। ऋतेऽर्थं यत् प्रतीयेत न प्रतीयेत चात्मनि, तद्विद्यादात्मनो मायां यथा भासो यथा तमः। यथा महान्ति भूतानि भूतेषु चावचेष्वनु, प्रविष्टान् अप्रविष्टानि तथा तेषु न तेष्वहम्। एतावद् एव जिज्ञास्यम् तत्त्वजिज्ञासुनात्मनः, अन्वयव्यतिरेकाभ्यां यत् स्यात् सर्वत्र सर्वदा। अत्र सर्गो विसर्गश्च स्थानं पोषणम् ऊतयः, मन्वन्तरेषानुकथा निरोधो मुक्तिराश्रयः। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Dear devotees, my humble obeisances to all of you. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti vaishnava vrinda ki jai. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. So we are reading from Granthraj Srīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 1, entitled The First Step in God Realization. We are seeing that Shri Shukdev Goswami, in response to Maharaj Parikshit's two questions, what is the duty for everyone at all times, and what is specifically duty of a person on the verge of death? Shri Shukdev Goswami has described the process of becoming detached from material existence and becoming attached to the lotus feet of Krishna, always thinking of Krishna. Now, Maharaj Parikshit is going to ask a question in verse 22. Shri Rajo Vacha Yatha Sandharyate Brahman Dharana Yatra Sammata Yadyashiva Hare Dashu Purushasya Manomalam. Translations and purports by our beloved founder Acharya Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Paramhamsa Shri Srīmad Abhay Charana Arvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. The fortunate King Parikshit, inquiring further from Sri Shukdev Goswami, said, O Brahman, Maharaj Parikshit is addressing Sri Shukdev Goswami as Brahman. Brahma Janati iti Brahman. Brahman is one who knows God. There are many subject matters in this world. Someone knows software, someone knows electronics, someone knows law, someone knows business administration, someone knows medical science. But one who knows God is called Brahman. Brahma Janati iti Brahman. When Lord Krishna entered Janakpur, there were two devotees who wanted to serve Krishna, Bahulashva and Shrutadev. And Lord Krishna expanded himself into two forms to reciprocate with both of them simultaneously. Our Sharanagat Mataji has suddenly manifested two forms. I can see her in two forms. She is so eager to hear Srīmad Bhāgavatam that she has manifested 4 eyes and 4 ears. Hare Krishna. So Maharaj Parikshit is inquiring, O Brahman, please describe in full detail how and where the mind has to be applied. Sri Shukdev Goswami advised that we have to, with our mind, we have to think of Krishna. Shri Parikshit Maharaj is asking how to do that. Please describe in full how and where the mind has to be applied and how the conception can be fixed so that mano malam, so that the dirty things, the mala in the mind, the dirty things in a person's mind can be removed. What is the process that the mind can be purified? What is the process then the mind can be applied in remembering Krishna? Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Very nice question. Maharaj Parikshit asked, how to do it? How to always think of Krishna? Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The dirty things in the heart of a conditioned soul are the root cause of all troubles for him. Very important Siddhanta. There are two types of souls. We have seen in Jaiva Dharma also. There is the liberated soul and there is the conditioned soul. Srila Prabhupada is saying, the dirty things in the heart of a conditioned soul. Who are we? Conditioned souls. We are in the Baddha Avastha. We are not in the Shuddha Avastha, as Jaiva Dharma describes. We are in the Baddha Avastha. So in the Baddha Avastha, we are conditioned souls. We are conditioned by this material nature. So in the conditioned soul's heart, there are dirty things. What are the dirty things? They are called anartha. Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moha, Mad, Matsarya. Lust, anger, greed, envy, pride, false ego. Shada, Ripu, 6 dirty things, 6 enemies. These are the root cause of all troubles. So who is the root cause of all troubles? It is these 6 enemies in our own mind. Our mind is our enemy because the mind has given shelter. The mind is the place of residence for lust, anger, greed, envy, pride, and false ego. We have to be aware of this. Further down, Srila Prabhupada in the same paragraph says, he is actually meant, a conditioned soul, everyone, Jivera Swarupa, Krishna and Nityadas, everyone is actually meant to serve the will of the Supreme Lord. What is our actual dharma? It is Karishya Vachanam Tava, to do what Krishna wants us to do. But on account of his gross ignorance, because of avidya, he is unable to remove the troubles due to dirty things in the heart. Why are we always troubled? Because we are not able to remove these dirty things from our heart. Lust, anger, greed, etc. And these dirty things have accumulated during the long prison life in the material world. So we are actually meant to serve the will of Krishna, but on account of dirty things in the heart, conditioned soul likes to serve his concocted desires. Instead of serving Krishna's desire, Krishna's words, Karishya Vachanam Tava, instead of doing that, we are listening to Maniram, whatever our mind says. We are Godas, servants of our senses. Indriyanam Manachasmi, the main sense is mind. So we are listening to our mind instead of listening to Krishna. That is our problem. What is our problem? We listen to our enemy mind, which is infected with lust, anger, greed, etc., instead of listening to Krishna. That is the problem. These desires, which are in the mind, mind's nature is sankalpa vikalpa. So these sankalpa, these desires, kamna, instead of giving him any peace of mind, creates new problems. Our mind is creating new problems for us in the form of desires instead of giving us peace. What is the peace formula? Bhoktaram yadnatapasam sarva loka maheshwaram. To understand Krishna is our best friend. Suridam sarvabhutanam nyatvam shantim tachati. Understand Krishna is best friend, Krishna is the master, and we have to be serving Krishna. Then we will get great bliss. Krishna is the source of all ananda. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught us. Naham vipro na chanarapati napi vaisho na shudro naham varni na chagrihapati napi naham varni na chagrihapati navanastho yatirva. What? Kintu prodyan nikhila paramananda purnamritabhe. Ananda abhi. The ocean of bliss is Krishna. Purna Ananda is Krishna. Gopi Bharatu Padakamalayur Dasa Dasanu Dasa. I am the servant of Radha Krishna. Gopinath. Gopi is Radharani. Nath is Krishna. Hey Nath is Krishna. So Gopinath is Yugal Naam. Gopi is Radharani. Nath is Krishna. Gopi Bhartu means Gopinath. Gopi is Radharani and Bhartu is Radhanath. Krishna. So Gopi Bhartu is synonymous with Gopinath. Gopi Bhartu Padakamalayo Dasa Dasanu Dasa Kintu Prodyan Nikhila Parama Ananda Purna Amrita Abdi. Purna Amrit Abdi. The ocean of Purna Ananda Amrit is Krishna, Radha and Krishna. So this we have to understand, that if we are connected with Radha and Krishna, we will experience Purna Amrit, Ananda Amrit, Prem Ananda will experience. But instead we are searching for happiness in this material world, which is Dukhalaya. We are looking for Sukh in Dukhalaya. That is our problem. These dirty things of fruitive work and empiric philosophy can be removed only by the association with the Supreme Person. Fruitive work means karmakanda, means sense gratification. And empiric philosophy means a desire for liberation. In short, bhukti and mukti. Fruitive activity is bhukti, sense enjoyment. Empiric philosophical speculation is for mukti. So bhukti and mukti both are impediments on the path of pure devotion, because pure devotion is jnana karma adi anavratam. It is untouched, uncovered by jnana marg, which is for liberation, and karma marg, which is for sense gratification. So Krishna is saying, so Prabhupada is saying that only by association with Krishna we can become free from these dirty things, the anarthas. We have to understand this very carefully, that we cannot conquer lust, we cannot conquer anger, we cannot conquer greed, etc. We don't have the power. These are very powerful diseases. We need the help of the Supreme Vaidya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Krishna can do it. We cannot do it. Jaha Krishna, taha nahi mayara adhikar. Next paragraph. Maharaj Parikshit was already directly connected with the personal feature of Lord Shri Krishna. He had Sakshat Darshan of Krishna in the womb of his mother. And as such, he had no need to inquire from Sri Shukdev Goswami about where and how to apply the mind. Parikshit Maharaj, already he has seen Krishna. He doesn't have to ask Shukdev Goswami, Acha, how do I apply my mind? How do I think of Krishna? He's already Krishna conscious. So he does not need to inquire from Shukdev Goswami how and where to apply the mind in the impersonal Virat Rupa of the Lord. But he inquired after a detailed description of the matter for the benefit of others. But Maharaj Parikshit is asking this question, how to apply the mind, how to think of Krishna within this universe in the Virat Rupa for the benefit of others. And how that is, we will see now. Further down in the paragraph, Srila Prabhupada says, for the benefit of men who are unable to accept Lord Krishna in his personal eternal form. There are some people who don't accept Krishna's personal eternal form. For them, the Virat Rupa is there. Maharaj Parikshit inquired from Sri Shukdev Goswami how to fix the mind on him in the beginning. And Sri Shukdev Goswami replied in detail as follows. Now, Shukdev Goswami is going to describe about the Virat Rupa. Please listen carefully. Shri Shuka Uvacha, verse 23. Jita Sano Jita Shwaso Jita Sango Jitendriyaha Sthule Bhagavato Rupe Manah Sandharaye Dhiya. Shri Shukdev Goswami answered, one should control the sitting posture. Jita Asana, posture. Asana means posture. Padmasan, Ardha Padmasan, ityadi. Sitting posture, one has to control. Jita means to control. Oh, conquer. Regulate the breathing process. Jita, Shwaso, we have to control our Shwas through pranayama. Controlling the breathing process, regulating it by yogic pranayama, and thus controlling the mind and the senses. Jita Sango and Jitendriya. You have to conquer the senses and the mind. Then we have to apply the mind to the gross potencies of the Lord called Virat Rupa. Manaha Sandharayed Dhiya. By intelligence, we have to apply the mind in this gross form, physical form of Krishna, in the form of Virat Rupa. Mind is to be controlled by the intelligence. The supervisor, the manager of the mind is intelligence. Supervisor, manager of the senses, the five jnanendriyas, is the mind. It's like that is a hierarchy. Senses, mind, intelligence. And then soul is higher than that. And Krishna is the highest. Ishwar Parama Krishna. Purport. The materially absorbed mind of the conditioned soul does not allow him to transcend the limit of the bodily conception of self. And thus, the yoga system for meditation, controlling the sitting posture, controlling the breathing process, and fixing the mind upon the Supreme is prescribed in order to mold the character of the gross materialist. This process of meditating on the Virat Rupa through asana, through dhyan, through pranayam is for the materialistic person. Unless such materialists are able to cleanse the materially absorbed mind, it is impossible for them to concentrate upon thoughts of transcendence. So these people are always absorbed in material sense gratification. So tell them, okay, you sit now properly. Don't engage in any sense gratification. Just sit, proper posture. Control your breathing. Make the mind peaceful. And not think of the Supreme Person. This whole world is a form of the Supreme Lord. Akhanda Mandalakaram, Vyaptam Yena Characharam, everywhere. Supreme Lord, impersonal Lord, Supreme Lord. Meditate. Think of the Supreme. So while meditation is going on, the gross materialist is abstaining from sense gratification. Slowly, slowly, the mind is getting absorbed in Krishna, starting from the gross conception, physical conception of the Virat Rupa. Slowly, slowly, it will come to Paramatma, it will come to Bhagavan. Further down in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, if the mystic yogi is diverted by the accompanying feats of mystic control, then his mission of yogic success is a failure, because the ultimate aim of yoga is God realization. Who can explain this sentence? Raise your hand. By the count of 3. Are you paying attention? 1, 2, 3. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Shantaradhika Mataji appeared and then disappeared. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Very easy. Apply your intelligence and tell what it means. Yes, Aditi and Amala. Amala Harinam, Amiya Vilas.
Yes. Ramakishori Devidasi. Prabhuji, what I understood is if the yogis, when they get yogic powers and if they
You are Ramakishori Mataji.
Yes, I'm actually driving, so I've logged in using my phone and it has the kids' names.
Okay. No problem. Okay. Yes, go ahead. Drive safely.
Oh, thank you, Prabhu. So when are you hearing an echo?
Now it's okay. I was.
Okay. So when the yogis, when they get diverted with the attainment of yogic powers, anima, garima, all those powers, then they lose track of the main goal. Yeah, the siddhis, they lose track of the main goal, which is to attain Krishna.
Very good. Excellent. It was so simple. And Prabhupada is saying it. It's very simple. If the mystic yogi, means the practitioner of Ashtanga Yoga, is diverted by the accompanying feats of mystic yoga, means the siddhis, Ashta Siddhi, then his mission of yogic service fail. Why? Because the mission is God realization. Kacham vichintam api divyaratna. We are forgetting Krishna, who is Divyaratna, and we are running after broken pieces of glass, which is this mystic perfection, Siddhi. What we'll get? What we'll get by this Ashta Siddhi, Anima, Lagima, Mahima? What we'll get? Prapti Siddhi. What is? Ultimately we'll die, na? What is that? It's all useless. Antavattu phalam tesham. Tadbhavat alpamedhas. I mean, it's for less intelligent. So Prabhupada is saying, such a mystic yogi who is at risk of getting diverted by siddhis, he is therefore recommended to fix his gross materialistic mind by different conception and thus realize the potency of Lord Krishna. He will think, oh, what is the use of these siddhis? Look at the Virat roop of Krishna. Everybody is entering into the mouths. He is chewing with his teeth everyone in the form of Kal. The modes of material nature, the rivers, the mountains, the planet, sun, moon. What I'm going to do, Prapti Siddhi, acquiring one dry fruit from Afghanistan, getting one apple from Shimla. What is this? What is the use of walking on water? What is that? The rivers are the veins of this Virat root. So he will feel humbled. He will not get attached to these mystic siddhis. Why? By realizing the potency of Lord Virat root. As soon as the potencies are understood to be instrumental manifestations of the transcendence, ekam shena sthito jagat, one automatically advances to the next step. Thik hai. This siddhis, no, they're useless. Something more. And gradually the stage of full realization becomes possible for him. So kramena, step by step, a gross materialist will become Bhagwan realized by the process of Ashtanga Yoga. It's a slow process, but it is there. For some materialist, this is required. So Sri Shukdev Goswami is describing because Maharaj Parikshit has asked, and why Maharaj Parikshit has asked about this process of meditation on the Virat Roop? For the sake of the gross materialists. Visheshastasya dehoyam sthavishtascha sthaviyasam yatredam vyajyate vishwam bhutam bhavyam bhavachasat. This gigantic manifestation of the phenomenal material world as a whole is the personal body of the absolute truth. Yes, Virat Truth. wherein the universal resultant past, present, and future of material time is experienced. Everything is there in Virat Roop. Kal, Triguna, the 14 planetary systems, all the demigods, all the Dana, Daitya, everything is there. Virat Roop. It is awesome. Further down in the purport, Srila Prabhupada Maharaj writes, Vishnu Puran 1.22.52. In the Vishnu Puran, it is said that as fire expands its rays and heat from one place, similarly, the Supreme Spirit, Param Brahma, Param Dham, Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead, expands himself in his manifold energy everywhere and anywhere. Parasya Shakti, Vividhaiva Churita. Further down in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, the Asuras cannot recognize the existence of the Lord, although there are vivid descriptions of the Lord in the revealed scriptures. Mudoham nabhijanati lokomam ajam avyayam. The fools do not recognize Krishna, even though Krishna is there. Avajananti mamura manushim tanumachritam param bhavam ajananto mama bhutam maheshwaram. The Asuras cannot recognize existence of Krishna, even though there are vivid descriptions of Lord Krishna in the revealed scriptures. Okay. And great scholars like Srila Vyasdev, Narad Muni, Asit, Deval, Arjun, Shankaracharya, Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they have described Krishna. But now see, carefully read. Please pay attention. The Asuras, this is very important, listen carefully now. The Asuras do not accept any evidential proof from the revealed scriptures, nor do they recognize the authority of the great Acharyas. Look at me, my dear friends. This is the problem with the Asuras. What is the problem with the Asuras? Number one, they don't recognize the scriptures. And number two, they don't listen to the Acharyas. It is Hari Guru. It is Guru Sadhu Shastra. A person who does not listen to Shastra, a person who does not listen to Acharya Vani is Asur. Okay, let's look back at the Bhagavatam. Let's continue reading it. Look at your Bhagavatam, please. Asurs, they want to see with their own eyes at once. This is a Asuric mentality. Not Shastra Chakshu, not Acharya Vani. They have Abhiman, Deha Abhiman. They want to see with their own eyes. They think seeing is believing. Their eyes is the highest praman. These two balls of flesh filled with aqueous humor and vitreous humor. This is, and the lens. This is the praman to see the absolute truth. That is the Asuric mentality. No, Shastra is the praman. The Acharyas are praman. There, now look back at the Bhagavatam. Therefore, they can see the gigantic body of Lord Krishna as the Virat Roop, which will answer their challenge. So they say, where is God? Hey, where is God? I don't believe in Krishna. Hey, Virat Roop is God. Look at this huge Virat Roop. You don't believe in God, but do you believe in the awesome power of nature? Yes. I believe in nature. I'm very scientific. I believe in nature. Nature is God. This whole Virat Roop is God. Like that. Therefore, they can see the gigantic body of the Lord as Virat, which will answer their challenge. And since they are accustomed to paying homage, giving respect to superior material strength, like the strength of a tiger, strength of an elephant, strength of different wrestlers and boxers and this and that, they pay respect to that. Power of lightning. They can offer respect to the Virat Roop. This is a fact, my dear friends. I know so many people. They are fascinated by tigers. They will travel to Siberia to take darshan of Siberian tiger. They will go to Ranthambore National Park from America and they will want to take darshan. They will wake up early in the morning, 4 o'clock, to get into the gypsy with a ranger and enter the national park, because I want to be the first person to have darshan in Brahma Murta of the tiger. They will go to Bandhavgarh. They will go to Bharatpur, very near Vrindavan. They will not go to Vrindavan. They will go to all these places to have darshan of tiger, leopard, bear. Why? They are fascinated by these carnivores. Why? Because these carnivores have a vibhuti of Krishna, and that is raw strength. They are fascinated. They'll go to Alaska. They'll go to Himalaya. They will climb Himalayan mountain because they are amazed by this huge Mount Everest. They are amazed by the glaciers. They will go spend thousands and hundreds and thousands of dollars to get into a submarine and go down the Marina Trench. One very big millionaire did that. Go down the Marina Trench is the deepest part of the ocean. They want to go there because they are struck by the awesome power of this ocean. How deep and dark it is. Even the sun rays cannot penetrate. Even the fish are blind. Such amazing, and still there are life forms. Kilometers and kilometers under the ocean. Marina Trench. They want to go there. So they are fascinated by this glory and power of nature. They believe in that. For them, there is the description of the Virat Roop. Okay, you don't care about Krishna, you don't care about Ram Avatar. Oh, nature. You meditate on Virat Roop. They will pay respect to Virat Roop. Lord Krishna, by the request of Arjun, exhibited his Virat Roop for the Asuras. That's why I'm reading this, very beautiful. I repeat, Lord Krishna, by the request of Arjun in Bhagavad Gita, 11th chapter, exhibited his Virat Roop, universal form, for the sake of the Asuras. Remember, Krishna has manifested his Virat Roop for Duryodhana also, when he went as Shantidut. A pure, now listen carefully, look here, look down at the Bhagavatam. A pure devotee of Lord Krishna, being unaccustomed to looking into such a mundane, gigantic form of the Lord, requires special vision for the purpose. This is amazing what Srila Prabhupada just said in this sentence. Amazing. Srila Prabhupada is saying Arjun was given Divya Drishti to see the Virat Roop, not because Virat Roop is special. Prabhupada is saying mundane Virat Roop. Why? He needed special chakshu. He already has Premanjana Churita Vilochanena. He has got love-tinged eyes to take darshan of Krishna as Parthsarathi. But he required different eyes to see this mundane, imaginary form of Krishna called Virat Roop, which is a temporary manifestation of Krishna, which is meant for the Asuras. Arjun had no eyes for the Virat Roop. He only had eyes for Shyam Sundar Krishna. This is fascinating. Please read again. A pure devotee of Lord like Arjun, being unaccustomed to looking into such a mundane, gigantic form of the Lord, requires special vision for the purpose. People think, oh, Arjun was given special vision to see Virat Roop because Virat Roop is something higher. No, it is lower. Higher is Krishna, Parthsarathi. Hari Bol. Kamalanayan Krishna. Pure, I'm reading it third time. Beautiful. This is ras. This is sweetness of Krishna consciousness, my dear friends. Srila Prabhupada is giving this groundbreaking, fascinating vision to us. Arjun getting Divya Drishti to see Virat Roop. What is the inner meaning? This is the inner meaning in Bhagavatam. Prabhupada is explaining a pure devotee of Lord like Arjun, being unaccustomed to looking into such a mundane, gigantic form of the Lord, requires special vision for the purpose. Lord Krishna therefore favored Arjun with special vision for looking into his Virat Roop, which is described in the 11th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. This Virat Roop of the Lord was especially manifested not for the benefit of Arjun, but for that unintelligent class of men who accept anyone and everyone as an incarnation of the Lord. And so they mislead the general mass of people. For them, the indication is that one should ask the cheap incarnation, pseudo Bhagwan ke jo they call themselves God, the pseudo people, we should ask them to exhibit Virat Roop and thus be established as an incarnation. If you can manifest your Virat Roop, then I will accept you as Bhagwan. The Virat Roop manifestation of Lord Krishna is, number one, simultaneously a challenge to the atheist who don't want to believe in Krishna. Okay, believe in the magnificent power of the Virat Roop. Number one, it's a challenge to the atheist. And number two, it is a favor for the Asuras. It is a favor for the Asuras. Asuras are those who don't want to believe in Krishna, or Asuras are those who claim to be God. So then, okay, first show your Virat Roop. So these are some of the reasons why Krishna is to be meditated upon in the form of his Virat Roop. Shri Shukdev Goswami is saying, number one, because there are some gross materialists who cannot focus on Krishna. They don't care about Krishna. They care about things they can see with their own eyes. For them, Virat Roop. You see the sun? Yes, sir. You see the moon? Yes, sir. You see the ocean? Yes, sir. You see the trees? Yes. Rivers? Yes, yes. Trees are the hair of the Virat Roop. Like that. So they are given a gross idea about the Virat Roop, which is nothing but the nature. It is also described that because so many Asuras claim to be God, so therefore Krishna showed the Virat Roop. So any Asur claims to be God, ask, show your Virat Roop, like that. Arjun did not need to see the Virat Roop. Arjun had no eyes, no taste for the Virat Roop, but that Virat Roop was shown to Arjun by giving special eyes to see that Virat Roop, so that the mundane people, materialistic people will come to know what is the Virat Roop, because they like to meditate on Virat Roop. Arjun doesn't like to. As soon as Arjun saw the Virat Roop, Arjun said, okay, pranam, pranam. Now come back to your original form of Chaturbhuj and Tuama form. So understand, these are the reasons. It's a challenge to the atheist and favor for the Asuras. Everything Krishna does, it is for Jag Mangal. It is for the Mangal. It is for the welfare of everyone. Text 25. Andakoshe shariresmin sapta varana samyute vairaja purusho yosau bhagavan dhara nashrayah. The gigantic universal form of the personality of Godhead. Vairaja Purusha means a Virat Roop within the body of the universal shell, which is covered by sevenfold material elements. Sapta Avarana. Avarana means covering. Sevenfold coverings is the subject of the Virat conception. It's a conception. Virat Roop is not the actual form of Krishna. It's a conception. Purport, third line. Bhagavad Gita, in the Bhagavad Gita, it has been proven that the original, transcendental and eternal form of the Lord is Shri Krishna. Yes. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karana Krishnastu Bhagwan Swayam Mataha Parataram Na Anyat Kinchit Asti Dhananjaya. Krishna is the original, highest. Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlama. So Bhagavad Gita proves that Krishna is the eternal form, absolute personality of Godhead. But by his inconceivable internal potency, Atma Maya, Sambhavami Atma Maya, he can expand himself in multifarious forms and incarnate. Ramadi Nurtishu Kala Niyamena Krishna Nana Avatara Karod Bhuvaneshu Kintu. Krishna Swayama Samhavat Paramam Pumanyo Govindam Adi Purusham Tam Aham Bhajami. Krishna can show many forms. Sarva Avatari Krishna Swayam Bhagwan. Chaitanya Charitamrita also describes. Krishna is complete, and although innumerable complete forms emanate from him, Krishna is still complete without any loss. Om Purnam Adha Purnam Idam. So Krishna is complete. Many forms come from him. They are also complete. And even though they are coming from Krishna, Krishna remains complete. This is Krishna's special feature. Krishna is always Purnam. Further down in the purport, Srila Prabhupada Ji Maharaj writes, all the universes in seed are emanating from the breathing of Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu is Karanadaksha Vishnu, who is but part of a partial expansion of the Lord. And all the universes presided over by Lord Brahmas vanish when Mahavishnu withdraws his great breath. Mahavishnu exhales, universes are created. So many Brahmanda, like eggshells covered by the shell, andas, Brahmandas, they come. He breathes in, everything is destroyed. Mahavishnu breathes out, universes are created. Mahavishnu breathes in, there is annihilation. Universes are destroyed. Now, who is this Mahavishnu? Original form is Krishna. Sarva Avatari Krishna, Swayam Bhagavan. Tahara Dvitiya Deha, Shri Balaram. Balramji is the first expansion of Krishna among the Vishnu Tattva Murtis. From Balramji comes the Moola Sankarshana. From Moola Sankarshana, all these incarnations come. The Purusha avatars come. Mahavishnu, who is also called as Karanadaksha Vishnu, then Garbhodaksha Vishnu, then Kshirodaksha Vishnu, Chaturvyuha, Vasudeva, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, all that comes from Moola Sankarshan, who is an expansion of Balramji. So who is Karanadaksha Vishnu, Mahavishnu? He is expansion of Krishna. Etecha amsha kala pumsa Krishnastu Bhagavana Swayam Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Vridayanti Yuge. So this is the fabulous power of Krishna. Text 26. Patalam etasya hipadamulam pathanti parshni prapade rasatalam mahatalam vishva srijotha gulfau talatalam vai purushasya janghe. Very beautiful description is given now. Persons who have realized it have studied that the planets known as Patal constitute the bottoms of the feet of the universal Lord, Viratru. And the heels and toes are the Rasatala planets. The ankles are the Mahatal planets. And his shanks constitute the Talatal, his thighs, and they constitute Talatal planets. So there's a description of the Virat Rupa. In the second paragraph of the purport, Srila Prabhupada Ji Maharaj writes, the universe is divided into 14 planetary systems. 7 planetary systems are above. They are called Bhur, Bhuvar, Swar, Mahar, Janas, Tapas, and Satyalok. These are the upward planets, one above the other. Bhur, Bhuvar, Swar, Mahar, Janas, Tapas, Satya. There are also 7 planetary systems downwards. Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, and Patala. Gradually one below the other. So 7 higher planetary systems, 7 lower planetary systems. So we are Bhur. Then there is Bhuvar, Swar, Mahar, Janas, Tapas, Satya. Below Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, and Patala. In this verse, the description begins from the bottom, from the lotus feet. Because it is in the line of devotion. Devotees always begin taking darshan from the lotus feet up. So we are taking darshan of Krishna in the form of Virat Rupa. Arjun also did pranam, offered prayer. So we will also offer pranam to Virat Rupa today. So devotees always begin describing Krishna from his lotus feet. Always take darshan from the lotus feet up. It is in line with devotion that the Lord's bodily description should begin from his lotus feet. Shukdev Goswami is a recognized devotee of Lord Krishna, and he is exactly correct in the description. So going back to first module, why did Kunti Maharani break this rule? We discussed this. Aradhya Madhavi Mataji, can you answer this question? Why Kunti Maharani says, Namo Pankaja Nabhaya? She starts from the beautiful navel of Krishna. Namaha Pankaja Maline, Namaha Pankaja Netraya, Namaste Pankajanghaye. She says Pankajanghaye last. Namaskar to your lotus feet. We discussed this in the first module. Can you tell Mataji? Hare Krishna. Where is... Yes, Aradhya Madhavi Mataji. Can't hear Mataji. Maybe there is some audio problem. But Gokuleshwari Mataji, you had raised your hand. Parima Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, she was the aunt of Krishna. So she thought that, you know, he's also the supreme personality of Godhead, but he's also like my son. So she first took the darshan of the navel, and then as a respect to the supreme personality of Godhead, she took the darshan of his lotus feet. This is my
Kunti Maharani thought that if I start with the lotus feet, Krishna will feel embarrassed.
Yeah.
So she did not want to embarrass Krishna. So very nice. So this is the Paddhati. This is how we should describe Krishna. Text 27. Dve januni sutalam vishwamurte urudvayam vitalam chatalam cha mahitalam ta jaganam mahipate nabhastalam nabhisaro grinanti. The knees of the universal form are the planetary system. So the name Sutala, and the two thighs are the Vitala and Atala planetary systems. The hips are Mahitala, and the outer space is the depression of his navel. Ura sthalam jyotir anikamasya griva mahar Vadanam Vaijanusya Tapo Viratim Viduradi Pumsaha Satyam Tushirshani Sahasra Shirshna. The chest of the original personality of the gigantic form is the luminary planetary system. His neck is the Mahar planets. His mouth is the Janas planet. His forehead is the Tapas planetary system. The topmost planetary system, known as Satyalok, is the head of he who has 1,000 heads. Sahasra Shirasa. Above all, the Satyalok, in the purport Srila Prabhupada Maharaj writes, above all, the Satyalok planetary system, where the chief directors of the modes of material nature reside, namely Vishnu, Brahma, and Shiva. This Vishnu is known as Kshirodakshay Vishnu, and he acts as a super soul in every living being. Hare Krishna. So this we have to understand. What Srila Prabhupada is writing in the purport. This is also described here in Srīmad Bhāgavatam, also described in detail in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Please understand carefully. Within this Brahma Anda, universal shell, this universe that we live in, the universe where Chaturmukh Brahmaji is the creator. In this universe, there is a planet for Lord Brahma called Satyalok. There is a planet for Lord Shiva or Rudra called Kailash. And there is a planet called Shvetadvip where Lord Kshirodakshay Vishnu lives, which is a Vaikuntha planet within this material world, Prapanchik Vaikuntha. So this we have to understand. Many times when devotees, they leave their body and they are not qualified to enter into the Paravvyom, the Vaikuntha planet, the spiritual world, they temporarily go to the Prapanchik Vaikuntha planet within this Brahmanda, and thereby associating with the pure devotees, they are transferred to Vaikuntha Lok. But from the spiritual sky, Vaikuntha Lok, one never comes back to this material world. Mamupetya punarjanma dukkhalayama shashvatam napnuvanti. Never happens like that. So this story of Jai Vijay that we read, that Jai Vijay, where Dwarpals of Vaikuntha, that is the Prapanchik Vaikuntha, Vaikuntha of this material world. It happened. And also that was a Leela. From Prapanchik Vaikuntha also nobody falls. It's a Leela. And in the third canto of Srīmad Bhāgavatam, Lord Vishnu himself says that Jaya and Vijaya coming down is my Leela. Just like Lalita Sakhi comes, just like Vishakha Sakhi comes, just like Yamuna descends, just like Govardhan comes from Golok Vrindavan on this earth planet. Similarly, Jaya and Vijaya, who are devotees of Krishna, they are Vaikuntha Vasis, they also came. It was a Leela. It was not a fall down. It was Leela. It is there in Srīmad Bhāgavatam. So like that, Shirodaksha Vishnu lives. Then text 29. So this is the universal form, Virat Roop. Text 29. Indradayo Bhāgava Ahur Usraha Karno Dishashrottramamushya Shabda Nasatyadasro Paramasya Nase Granusya Gandho Mukhamagniridha. Virat Roops, his arms are the demigods headed by Indra. The 10 directional sides are his ears, and the physical sound is his sense of hearing. His nostrils are the 2 Ashwini Kumaras, and material fragrance is his sense of smell. His mouth is the blazing fire. In the Yajna also, when we perform Yajna, the fire, Agni, the flame, is the tongue of Krishna. When we give Ahuti, we offer everything. The conception, second paragraph purport, the conception of the Virat Roop or the gigantic form of the Supreme Lord is said to include all the dominating demigods as well as the dominated living beings. We are dominated. We are under the demigods, and demigods are under Krishna. Text 30. Dyaur akshini chakshurabhut patangah pakshmani vishnor ahani ubhecha tadbhru vijrimbha parameshti dishnyam aposya talu rasa eva jivha. The sphere of outer space constitutes the Virat Roop's eye pits, and the eyeball is the sun as the power of seeing. His eyelids are both the day and night, and in the movements of his eyebrows, the Brahma and similar supreme personalities reside. His palate is the director of water, Varun, and the juice or essence of everything is his tongue. Purport. I'm going to read the full purport, my dear friends. Please listen very carefully. Okay? Listen to Srila Prabhupada's purport. So this is the description of the Virat Roop. Srila Prabhupada gives a phenomenal purport here. So please listen carefully. To common sense, the description in this verse appears to be somewhat contradictory because sometimes the sun has been described as the eyeball and sometimes as the outer space sphere. But there is no room for common sense in the injunctions of the Shastras. We must accept the description of the Shastras and concentrate more on the form of the Virat Roop than on common sense. Here, Virat Roop is being described. We should hear it as it is and try to understand. Common sense is always imperfect. I repeat, because common sense depends on our sensual perception and on our mind and intelligence. And all of them are corrupted, all of them are imperfect. Therefore, our common sense is also imperfect. Common sense is always imperfect, whereas the description in the Shastras is always perfect and complete. If there is any incongruity, any discrepancy, it is due to our imperfection and not imperfection of the Shastra. If something is atpata, something is not making sense, we think there is some discrepancy, It is our lack of intelligence. It is our lack of ability to understand. It is our failure to comprehend. It is not any imperfection in the Shastra. Shastra is ideal. Shastra is perfect. Shastra is nirmal. If there is any incongruity, it is due to our imperfection and not the Shastra. That is the method of approaching Vedic wisdom. My dear friends, I request you to highlight, underline this purport. Very important Siddhanta Srila Prabhupada is saying here. There is no room for common sense in the injunctions of the Shastras. We must accept the description of the Shastra. Srila Prabhupada is saying. Is it clear to everyone? Very nice. We should not think that with our little brain we can understand everything. We can make sense of everything. No. There are so many things in this material world also we cannot make sense. How we are talking now on the Zoom, it is working through internet. Internet, I have heard there are some wires that go from the ocean and it is happening so fast. It's incomprehensible how through some wires and satellite, how everything can happen so fast. I'm speaking and you're hearing in real time. Raise your hands quickly, everyone. Raise your hands. See, in real time, you're doing it. So far away you're sitting, this is happening ekdam, fatafat, real time. Amazing. Some of you are sitting in Philadelphia, some of you are sitting in Baltimore, some of you are sitting in India. It's happening in real time. Canada, Rishi Prabhu, with his Chaitanya Charitamrita background. So this is amazing. Can we actually understand how this is happening? How many of us can understand? But we are using it now. So similarly, Krishna consciousness also works. We have to apply. We are using Zoom because it works. Falena Parichay. We are tasting the fruits. It's working. We are able to do our Bhakti Vaibhava course. So we are using it. Krishna consciousness also works like that. We have to just practice it nicely. Then there will be Anubhuti. There will be Anubhav. There will be divine experiences. And then our faith becomes rock solid. Anybody comes and says, I don't believe in Krishna. We will not be affected. The Shraddha becomes so fixed, so firm because of divine experiences. So many times Krishna answers our prayers. So many times Krishna does things that are not supposed to happen. Kartum akartum manyatha kartum. He's so making the impossible possible. And possible impossible. Krishna does so many miracles in our life. If we just sit down peacefully and analyze our life, we will see Krishna has done so many miracles in our life. Krishna has been so kind. Krishna bada dayamay. Then our faith becomes strong. So this purport was very brilliant. Text number 31. Chandams anantasya shiro grinanti damshtrayamah sneha kala dvijani haso janonmadakari chamaya duranta sargo yadapanga moksha. They say that the Vedic hymns are the cerebral passage of the Virat Root, and his jaws are the teeth, Yam, god of death, who punishes the sinners. The art of affection is his set of teeth, and the most alluring, illusory material energy is his smile. This great ocean of material creation is but the casting of his glance over us. Hare Krishna. Beautiful. According to Vedic assertion, purport, according to Vedic assertion, this material creation is the result of Lord's glance. Mahavishnu's casting a glance over the material energy, which is described herein as the most alluring, illusory energy. And conditioned souls are allured by this material energy, nothing but a glance of Krishna. And everyone becomes mohit. Everyone becomes bewildered by this. Vrido tarushto dhara eva lobho dharmastano dharma patosya prishtam kastasya midram vrishanau chamitrau kukshi samudra girayosti sangah Modesty is the upper portion of his lips. Hankering is his chin. Religion is the breast of the Lord, the chest. And irreligion is his back. Brahmaji, who generates all living beings in the material world, is his genitals. And the Mitra Varunas are his two testicles. The ocean is his waist. And the hills and mountains are the stacks of his bones. This is the Virat Roop. The same Virat Roop was exhibited to by Lord Krishna to Arjun. And it's a challenge to the unbelievers. You don't believe in God, you want to see God, then see God in the form of this Virat Roop. Text 33. Nadyosya nadyo tatanu ruhani mahiruha vishwatanor nripendra ananta virya shwasitam matarishwa gatirvaya karma guna pravaha. O Nripendra, O King Parikshit, Shukdev Goswami is saying, the rivers are the veins of the gigantic body, and the trees are the hair of his body, and the omnipotent air, Vayu Savatra Gomahan, is his breath. The passing ages are his movements, Kal is his movement, and his activities are the reactions of the three modes of material nature. And this is the Virat Roop. So Prabhupada says in the purport, even by studying the rivers, trees, a botanist, environmentalist, studying the air, studying time, the different ages, they can also conceive the personality of Godhead. They can also somehow meditate on Krishna. Everyone can meditate on Krishna in the form of Virat Roop. Those who are not spiritually inclined. Text 34. How many verses are there? 39 verses are there. Let's finish. Ishasya keshan vidur ambhuvahan vasastu sandhyam kuruvarya bhumna avyaktam ahur hridayam manascha sachandrama sarva vikara koshaha. Oh, best among the Kurus, Kuruvarya. Maharaj Parikshit is Kuruvarya, the best amongst the dynasty of the Kuruvansha. Why? Because when he appeared, he was in the womb of his mother. Krishna had to appear as Gadadhar in the womb of Uttara to protect him. Throughout his life, he was Parikshit. He was doing Pariksha, he was doing Nirikshan. Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Who gave me darshan? And at the end of his life, he is again making Krishna appear in the form of Srīmad Bhāgavatam. So Dhanya hai. Maharaj Parikshit Dhanya hai. His birth, his life, and his death is glorious. So Kuruvarya in this verse. Best among the Kurus, the clouds which carry water are the hair on his head, Virat Roop's head. The terminations of day and night are his dress, and the supreme cause of material creation is his intelligence, the cause of material creation, which we are not able to understand. Duniya banane wale, kya tere man mein samai, kyun tune duniya banai? People sing this so-called materialistic poets. They are not able to understand why this world was created like this. That is Krishna's intelligence. It is beyond our intelligence. Virat Roop's mind is the moon and the reservoir of all changes. The moon is the reservoir of all changes. Vijnana Shaktim Mahim Amananti Sarvatmanantha Karanam Giritram Ashvashvatar Ushtragajanakhani Sarve Mrigapash Ravashroni Deshe. The principle of matter, Mahat Tattva, the whole material conglomerate, the Mahat Tattva is the consciousness of the omnipresent Lord, as asserted by the experts, and Rudradev is his ego. Lord Rudra, Lord Shiva, is the ego of the Virat Roop. The horse, mule, camel, elephant, all these big animals are his nails. And the wild animals, like tiger and lion, and all quadrupeds, four-limbed, Astani Sahastanam, Apadani, Chatushpadam, Phalgunyatra Mahatam, Jiva Jivasya Jivan. So, Chatushpadam, the four-legged animals are situated in the belt zone of the Virat Roop. Vayamsi tad vyakaranam vichitram manurmanisha manujo nivasaha gandharva vidyadhara charanastraha swarasmritir asura nikaviryaha. The varieties of birds are indications of his masterful artistic sense. Hari Bol. The varieties of birds, ornithologist who studies different birds, they are fascinated because the birds are of so many types and they are so attractive, so colorful, so beautiful, different sizes, different shapes. Varieties of birds are indications of Virat Roop's masterful artistic sense. The peacock feathers, they are the artistic sense of Krishna in the form of Virat Roop. Manu, the father of mankind, is the emblem of his standard intelligence, and humanity is his residence. The celestial species of human beings, like the Gandharvas, Vidyadharas, Charanas, and angels, all represent his musical rhythm, and the demoniac soldiers are representations of his wonderful prowess. Wonderful prowess. Many ways, the demons, sometimes they're even stronger than the demigods. Shri Shukracharya knows the Sanjivani Vidya. He can make a dead person alive. Whereas Brihaspati Maharaj, Shri Brihaspati ji, doesn't know that Vidya. So this wonderful prowess of the Asur is also representation of Krishna's virya, Krishna's power. Purport. The aesthetic sense of Lord Krishna in the form of Virat Roop is manifested in the artistic, colorful creation of varieties of birds like peacocks, parrots, cuckoo, Hari Bol. Then Krishna's power of speech is there in the human species like Gandharvas, Vidyadharas. They are human-like. They can sing very nicely, captivating even the minds of the demigods. Their musical rhythm represents the musical sense of Krishna. All these rag, this is all Krishna's musical vidya. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada says something very beautiful. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu displayed this living unity in the jungle of Madhya Pradesh, where even the tigers, elephants, and many other ferocious animals perfectly cooperated in glorifying the Supreme Lord Krishna. That is the way to peace and amity all over the world. Peace and amity, peace and unity, peace and harmony will come only if Krishna becomes the center and we all become devotees of Krishna. 37 verse. Brahmananam kshatra bhujo mahatma vid urur agri shrita Krishna varnaha nana vidhabhi jagano papanno dravyatmaka karma vitana yogaha. These are the verses of Srīmad Bhāgavatam. Shri Shukacharya has spoken, Maharaj Parikshit has heard, all our acharyas have read, relished, and heard. This is all part of Krishna's body. Krishna Tulya Bhagavat. Just by hearing these verses, we are making spiritual progress. So please be patient and listen. Words of Shukadeva Goswami and Srila Prabhupada. The Virat Purusha's face is the Brahmanas. His arms are the Kshatriyas. His thighs are the Vaishyas. And Shudras are under the protection of his feet. All the worshipable demigods are also overtaken by him, and it is the duty of everyone to perform sacrifices with feasible goods to appease the Lord. So Brahmanas are the face, Kshatriyas are the arms, thighs are the Vaishyas, and Shudras are the feet. Once in a lecture by His Holiness Jaya Advaita Swami Maharaj, Maharaj said something very wonderful. Maharaj said that the Shudras represent the feet of the Lord in his form of Virat Roop. If we offend the Vaishyas, if we look down, if we offend the Shudras, if we insult them, disrespect them, we are attacking the lotus feet of Krishna. The lotus feet of Krishna are worshipable. Namaste Pankachangraya. But if we become proud and we ill-treat the Shudras, then we are attacking the lotus feet of Krishna. Very nice meditation. This is the Virat Root. All the 4 Varnas are there in the Virat Root. Verse 38. Iyan asav ishvara vigrahasya yah sannivesha kathito mayate sandharyate smin vapushi sthavishte manasva buddhya nayatosti kinchid. Shri Shukdev Goswami is telling Maharaj Parikshit, I have thus explained to you the gross, material, gigantic conception of the personality of Godhead. Iyan asav ishvara vigrahasya. One who seriously desires liberation concentrates his mind on this form of the Lord, because there is nothing more than this in the material world. The entire material world is a form of Krishna, the Virat Root. Last verse, verse 39. Sa sarvadhivrit anubhuta sarva atma yatha swapna jane hitaikah tam satyamanandanidhim bhajeta nanyatra sajjed yata atma patah. Shri Shukdev Goswami is telling Maharaj Parikshit, one should concentrate his mind upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who alone distributes himself in so many manifestations, just as ordinary persons create thousands of manifestations in dreams. One must concentrate the mind on him, the only, all blissful, absolute truth. One must concentrate the mind on Krishna, who is Ananda Nidhim. Satyam Ananda Nidhim Bhajeta. One should worship Krishna, who is Ananda Nidhim. Kintu Prodyan Nikhila Paramananda Purnamritabdher. Gopi Bharatu Pada Kamalayor Dasa Dasa. One must concentrate his mind only on Krishna, the only all blissful absolute truth. Ekela Ishwara Krishna Arasara Bhritya. Otherwise, one will be misled and will cause his own degradation. If we turn away from Krishna, we will cause ruination. Krishna bhulya jiv anadi bahirmukh ataiva mayatare deha samsar dukh. So this, we should concentrate our mind on Krishna. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada says very nice. Go down in the second last paragraph. The example given in this verse very nicely is that of the dreaming man. Dreaming man example is given in this last verse. The dreaming man, Prabhupada says, the dreaming man creates many things in his dream, and thus he himself becomes the entangled seer of the dream and is also affected by the consequences. He experiences happiness and pain in the dream depending on if it's a good dream, sweet dream, or a nightmare. That experience is real at that time. This material creation is also exactly a dream-like creation of the Lord. Srila Prabhupada says. Goswamiji also says, Uma kahu mai anubhav apna sat hari bhajan jagat sab sapna. The human life, however, last paragraph, the human life, however, is an opportunity to get out of this repetition of creation and annihilation. It is a means whereby one may escape the Lord's external potency and enter into his internal potency. That is our choice. Daivi prakriti ashrita. Mahatmanastu mam partha daivim prakriti ashrita. Bhajanti ananya manaso jnatva bhutadi bhavyayam. Then we come to know Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead, if we take ashraya of his daivi prakriti, not bhinna prakriti, not the bahiranga shakti, antaranga shakti. Daivi prakriti ashrita. Bhajanti ananya manaso. And we should do ananya bhajan of Krishna, serve Krishna. Sarva bhutani kaunteya prakritim yanti mamika kalpakshaye punasthani kalpadau visrijamyaham. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Prabhupada is quoting 9.7, O son of Kunti Arjun, hey Kunti Nandan, at the end of the millennium, every material manifestation enters into my nature. As Mahavishnu, when he breathes in, everything enters. And at the beginning of another millennium, Kalpadau, at the beginning of another Kalpa, by my potency, I create again. Visirjamamaham. Krishna creates again. So this Punarapi Janama Jaranam, Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Janani Jathare Shayanam, Iha Samsare, Bahudustare, Kripaya Pare, pahi murare. This bhutva bhutta praliyate, again and again this world is created and destroyed, as Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. And within this, as the world is created and destroyed, many times we are also taking birth and facing death. Birth, death, janma mrityu jara. This samsara chakra is going on. And human life, Prabhupada is saying, look at the last paragraph again. Prabhupada is saying, the human life, however, is an opportunity to get out of this repetition of birth and death and to get Krishna. Anityam asukham lokam imam prapya bhajasvama. Macchitta satam bhava. Krishna says, always think of me. Man mana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. Result will be Mam eva shashi satyam te prati jane priyosi. Krishna is promising, Mam eva shashi. You will come to me. If you think of me, you become my devotee. You worship me and you offer dandavat pranam to me. That is the path of bhakti. So this is very beautiful description of the Virat root for people who are not interested in Krishna, the atheists. They can at least see with their eyes the Virat root in some way. And thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the second canto, first chapter, the Srīmad Bhāgavatam, entitled The First Step in God Realization. Now, after describing the Virat Roop outside, Sri Shukacharya, Sri Shukdev Goswami, our Acharya, will describe the Lord within the heart. And that is the next chapter. Krishna willing, we will see this on Tuesday. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. We read the beautiful description of Virat Roop. We are within Krishna in the form of his Virat Roop. Krishna is never leaving us. No matter where we are, Krishna is always there. Guru Maharaj is always there because he is not different from Krishna. Sakshat Dharitvena Samasta Shastre. So there is no reason for us to be sad. There is no reason for us to lament. We are always with Guru and Krishna. Bhakti Devi is always with us. We should happily chant Hare Krishna. This world is a miserable place. Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam. Misery will come. Suffering, reversals, disappointments will come. It is inevitable. If we are in water, we are going to get wet. If we are in this Dukkhalaya, we are going to experience Dukkha. But Sri Shukdev Goswami says in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhāgavatam, Samashritaye padapallavaplavam mahat padam punya yasho murare bhavam budhir vatsa padam param padam yad vipadam natesham. Yes, this material world is padam vipadam. Every step there is danger. Accident, cancer, heart attack, stroke, trauma, somebody attacking us, shootings, war, natural disasters. Adi Devik, Adhyatmik, Adi Bhautik Klesh are there constantly, one after the other. Padam, one after the other. You come through one trouble, next trouble is waiting. So, Samashritaye. You have to take complete ashraya, samyak rupena ashraya, samashritaye. Padapallo, Mahat Padam Punya Sho Murare, Murari Sharan, Murari Pada Arpita Chitta Vritti. You have to take shelter of Krishna. After doing pranam to the Virat Roop of Krishna, now let us go to where we belong. Let us meditate on this verse before we end the class, where we are supposed to be. Shri Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami gives us this verse in the beautiful Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Divyad Vrindaranya Kalpadrumada, in the divine realm of Shri Vrindavan Dham, under a Kalpa Vriksha Kadamba tree, Srīmad Ratnāgara Simhasanastho, on a beautiful bejeweled Simhasan, very beautiful soft asan decorated with the most precious jewels. Who is situated? Srimad Radha Srila Govinda Devo. Our Yugal Kishore, Radha and Govinda, they are sitting. And who are they surrounded by and served by? Preshtalibhi sevyamano smarami. Let us remember that Radha and Govinda in the Nikunja of Vrindavan, sitting on a beautiful bejeweled throne, they are sitting, embracing each other, gazing into each other's eyes, which are oceans of love, prem, divya prem. They are being served. Preshtalibhi sevyamano. They are being served by Preshtalibhi, loving Sakhis and Manjaris. There is Lalita, Vishakha, Ashta Sakhis. And there are the Ashta Manjaris, headed by Rupa Manjari, Rati Manjari, Ananga Manjari. They are serving Radha and Govinda. This is where we belong. Radha Krishna Seva Pavai Abhilashi. Karun Nija Dasi. This is our prayer. This is where we belong. Let's not leave Shri Vrindavan Dham. Let's not leave this place. Divya Vrindaranya Kalpadrumadha. Vrindaranya. This is the forest of Vrinda Devi. Vrinda Aranya. So therefore we pray to Vrinda Devi every day. Namo Namo Tulasi Krishna Preyasi. Namo Namo Radha Krishna Seva Pao Ei Abhilashi. This is our prayer. So let us not leave. Divyad Vrindaranya Kalpadrumada Srīmad Ratnāgara Simhasanastho Srīmad Radha Srīla Govinda Devo Preshtalibhi Sevyamano Smarami. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We are not qualified to be there. But Srila Prabhupada has given us Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Our Guru Maharaj has given us Hare Krishna Mahamantra. If we cannot do any service, Chamara Dulai, Jhulan, Chandan, Gathya, Malatir, Mala, Tambula. If we cannot do any of these services, we are unqualified. We cannot sing for Krishna and Radharani. At least we can chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra on our Japamala. That is also very pleasing to Radharani. When Radharani hears Krishna Naam, she becomes blissful. When Krishna hears Radha Naam in the form of Hara, he becomes blissful. So we can give pleasure to the divine couple, Radha Krishna Gatir Mama, by chanting this Yugal Naam Mantra, Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Iti Shodashakam Naam Naam. It is the names of Radha and Krishna. Prabhupada says Hare is a call to Radharani. Radhe, Hare is Radhe, and Krishna and Ram are the names of Krishna, Sham Sundar. Hare Krishna, Radha Krishna, Hare Ram, Radha Raman. At least we can sit there at the lotus feet of the Sakhis and the Manjaris as they are serving Radha and Krishna. We can chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, giving pleasure to the Sukarna, the beautiful ears. Sukarna Ratna Kundalam. Sukarna, the beautiful ears of Radha and Krishna, giving pleasure just by chanting this Hare Krishna Mahamantra given to us by Shri Guru Shri Gauranga. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Seeing Radha and Krishna being pleased by the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the Sakhis and Manjaris will become happy. They are our gurus. They'll be pleased. And maybe they will tell us, Chalo, get up now, do this seva. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is our life. Just keep chanting till Rupa Manjari tells us, chalo, get up now. Hare Krishna is a prayer for service. Now I'll give you service. Go get some flowers for making garlands for Radha and Shyam Sundar. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Granthara Srīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai. All glories, all glories, all glories to all of you. Hare Krishna. So I'll stop here. Yes, Shyam Chandra Prabhu, please go ahead. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, Dandat Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for such a wonderful class today. You took us into a nice dharana of not only Ashtanga Yoga, not only of the Virat Roop, each and every part. We actually could imagine when you were explaining, but most importantly, you concluded by taking us to where we originally belong, in the Nikunj and also in the Jugal Kishore, Milan. So nice. It was beautiful, really touching the heart. So happy Paniyati Chidadei festival to all of you, especially to you because you're in new Paniyati Dham. I hope you had a nice celebrations. And
we're having it on Sunday. Saturday, Rath Yatra.
Sunday.
Sunday.
Okay. Okay. So Prabhu, I have got 3 questions. They're all pertaining to the explanation you gave on Virat Roop only. So just for clarification, I would like to ask you. The first one was, in that verse where Prabhupada mentions in the purport that Arjuna got the special vision of the Virat Roop, even though he was a pure devotee, but the idea was basically to for the benefit of others, not really for Arjuna, isn't it? Now, but is it also not true that after the Virat Roop was shown to Arjuna, he actually surrendered? Like till that time, he was not surrendering, but when the Virat Roop was shown and Krishna's supremacy was shown in the form of Virat Roop, only after that Arjuna has surrendered. So this is little bit, I'm trying to come to terms. On one hand, he was already a pure devotee, and then this Virat Roop was shown for the benefit of others, but yet he surrendered only after the Virat Roop was shown. So can you just explain a little bit on this?
Yeah, so it's a little different. So in the second chapter, Arjuna actually surrendered. Karpanya dosho pahata svabhava prichhami tam dharma samudha cheta yashrehatan bruhit. What is that?
Yashrehatan bruhitam sadhimam prapadyate.
Prapanna means surrender. Shishyasteham sadhimam prapanna. So prapanna is sharanagati. So he already surrendered in the second chapter, but here after seeing the awesomeness of the Virat Roop, out of fear, he offered his pranam, offered his obeisance, offered prayers out of fear. And then he said that this form is very fierce and it is disturbing my heart. So take it away. So actual loving surrender already happened in the second chapter. The surrender also happened in 11th chapter, but that was simply because of the ferocity and the magnificence of this Virat Roop. So that is different. But here already surrendered.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Prabhu. Then another question. Now see, when you're describing this Virat Roop, when it came to Satya Loka description, where it is mentioned in the purport by Prabhupada that Brahma, Shiva and Vishnu, they all reside there. And you mentioned that Lord Shiva resides there in the Kailash. Am I correct?
Yeah, their abodes are called Kailash, Shwetadweep and Satyalok.
Okay. So actually the chart that we have, that is the complete spiritual and material universe representation, that chart. So in that, Kailash, where Sadashiv lives, is shown in the spiritual world, and his expansion as Rudra is actually in the Satyaloka. I mean, on one side there is Rudra, other side there is Shirodakshaya Vishnu.
Correct.
So is it also called as Kailash, the place where he lives, or that place is?
Yes, yes. Even in this
also called
material world,
Kailash, okay.
just like
Yes.
Shvetadvip, where Kshirodaksha Vishnu lives, is also called Prapanchik Vaikuntha. And in the spiritual realm, in the Paravyoma, the different planets are also called Vaikuntha because of the personality who presides and lives there. That is Vishnu, and here Lord Shiva. Rudra is Shiva Tattva only.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Then the third question is, see, it is mentioned that Mahitala, that is Earth planet, is basically the hips area of the Lord. In that 27th verse, it's mentioned, no? Sutala, Vitala, Atala, then Mahitala. So Mahitala is represent the hips portion of the Lord. Now, that is Earth actually. So now inside Earth, we have got the human beings, and we also have the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras. Okay. And yet in verse 37, it is mentioned that Brahmanas represent the face, the Kshatriyas represent the arms, the Vaishyas the thighs, and Shudras the feet. So on one hand, the Mahitala Earth itself is in the hips area.
Yes.
So then how the inhabitants of that Earth area can again percolate up and down? That's what I was thinking. How it is to be understood.
Earth is not percolating. So the Earth planet being in Mahitala, Earth planet being in the middle planetary system, is in the middle body of the Virat Roop. This is the physical Earth planet. Now, as far as the human beings are concerned, they are divided into four. Chatur Varnam, Maya Shrishtam, Guna Karma, Vibhagasha. The human beings are categorized into four: Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and they are head, arms, thighs, and feet. So the earth, physical earth itself, is in the middle portion, the hip portion of the Lord. Now, on this earth planet, there is Jagannath Puri. Now, does Jagannath Puri is in the hip of the Lord? No. Jagannath Puri is although physically on the earth, but it is a separate entity. It's a spiritual world. Vrindavan also is spiritual. Mayapur Dham also spiritual. So like that, Dwarka Dham also spiritual. Ayodhya Dham also spiritual. So yes, the earth planet is there, but then even within the earth, there are places. So this whole Virat Roop, Prabhuji, it is not actually a physical, actual, factual form of the Lord. It is therefore repeatedly the word used is conception. It's a conceptualization that as far as the planets are concerned, this is the upper, middle, lower, like that. As far as the people are concerned, this is the upper, middle, lower, lowest, like that. So it's a conceptualization, not to be taken literally, that the earth is going up and down, not like that. The earth planet itself is this, then people on earth are categorized in four, which represent these parts of the Virat Roop, like that. So it's a conceptualization, not to be taken literally.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. It's clear now. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Dandavata. Jai Shri. Sharanagat Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much for a wonderful class. Again, now you just answered that it is conceptual, but just I wanted to confirm again that my question was that like whether the Prapanchik Vaikuntha is a part of a Virat Roop. That's I had two questions. So that first one is
yes, it is. It is the head because it comes under the Satyalok where the three presiding deities live. It's part of the Brahmanda, so it comes under the Virat Roop only.
Okay. And second question is that then
but it is a spiritual one. It is a spiritual one. There is no influence of Rajogun, Tamogun, Sattvagun there. It is Gunatit. It is the completely Chinmay spiritual world. Just like on this earth also, Jagannath Puri, Vrindavan, Mayapur, Dwarka, Ayodhya, spiritual places. Gangaji is spiritual, Munaji is spiritual, even though they are in the material world. Just like that, that Prapanchik Vaikuntha is in the material realm, but it is very totally spiritual. It's yes, please go ahead.
Understood. Thank you, Prabhuji. And second question is that so we always hear the about this Shweta Dvip where Kshirodaksha Vishnu is there, and when there is some sankat or some problem is there, then everyone they approach the Kshirodaksha Vishnu. But is there any mention of the Garbhodaksha Vishnu? Which planet Garbhodaksha Vishnu resides? Is it below the Atal I mean, is it like below the feet? Is there a planet again? Or because it is said in the Bhagavatam only, he's lying down on the water, half filled, Garbhodak ocean. So can you please clarify a little bit about that?
Yes, Garbhodakshay Vishnu is below all this, because from the navel of Garbhodakshay Vishnu comes the lotus. And in the stem of this lotus, these 14 planetary systems are there. And on the very top is Brahmaji. So like that. He is Hiran.
Okay.
And
Thank
Garbhodakshay
you.
Vishnu is Hiranyagarbha. So yeah, he's lying down.
Lying way below all of this. Okay.
In the Garbhodaka ocean, which fills the half of the Brahmanda. Half is filled with the Garbhodaka ocean, where Garbhodakshay Vishnu is lying down. And then on the Vaikuntha planet, Prapanchik Vaikuntha planet, Shvetadvip, there is an ocean of milk. Shvetadvip. There is a Shir Sagar, and on that Shir Sagar, Kshirodakshay Vishnu lies down. And then outside this Brahmanda, there is another ocean called Karana Sagar. In the Karana Sagar, Karanadakshay Vishnu is lying. From whom many Brahmandas are coming. Each Brahmanda, there is one Garbhodakshay Vishnu, and there is one Kshirodakshay.
Yeah. So there is no planet for Garbhodakshay Vishnu. There is nothing written that like he resides.
Planet or his abode is the Garbhodaka ocean.
Ocean. Okay.
Where he is lying on the Anantashesh. Like that.
Thank you.
Even Kshirodakshay Vishnu lies on Anantashesh. That is the bed of the Lord. Lakshman is always with Ram. Balram is always there with Krishna. Nitai is always with Gaura. Like that.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And one of the purport, Prabhuji, I don't know, I can't find it, but when I was reading that it was written that like whatever Virat Roop mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, it is different from this Virat Roop. But when we are talking today, we were comparing these two Virat Roops. So is it same again? Yes. I just wanted to say.
Yes, I have also read that. They are different because in that description is very different. This description is different, but the conception is same, because this is not this Virat Roop that we are trying to meditate on in pages of Srīmad Bhāgavatam that we read today. This is a conceptualization. It's a concept. You have to imagine. It's an imaginary form of the Lord. It is not actually existing. For someone who doesn't believe in Krishna, we are giving them an imaginary form of the planets, rivers, mountains, trees, animals, all being part of a Virat Roop, a body of the Lord that is imaginary. It's a conception. Whereas the universal form shown to Arjun, it has similar conception, but it was actually manifested. Arjun could actually see it. This Virat Roop, it is seen in the eye of the imagination. We have to see it of imagination. We have to conceptualize. But the Virat Roop of the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita was actually shown by Krishna. It is the same conception of Virat Roop, but that was actually manifested for Krishna, where he saw Bhim and Karna and Duryodhan, Dronacharya, Jayadratha being chewed, being smashed between the teeth of the Virat. Actually, they were right there, standing on the battlefield. But through the influence of Kal, Krishna was showing his potency. So it was a special form that was manifested, actually manifested for Arjun to see with divine eyes. And then that form disappeared also. Similarly, another form of Virat Roop was shown to Duryodhan. So like that. Hari is Ananta, his manifestations are also, he can show one in the Kurukshetra, one on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, one in the mind of the meditator who is meditating on this description of Virat Roop, like that. So the conception is same Virat Roop, but the manifestations are multifarious, like the different waves in the ocean. They're all waves, but they're all different.
Okay, I understand. Because there it was mentioned that it was not shown to anyone before, and it was like very first time. So that's the reason.
That's the difference. Because Krishna actually showed it to Arjuna. Whereas this is an imagination in this second canto of Srīmad Bhagavatam. Okay?
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Shama Vallavi Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you for the wonderful class, Prabhuji. I don't know whether you have answered this question previously. I do not know. Where is the Kailash planet situated, Prabhuji? where Shiva is.
So there is one Kailash on this earth planet also, because there also Lord Shiva exists, but Lord Shiva also exists in the higher planetary systems in the Divya Kailash, divine Kailash. His dham is called Kailash, where he lives, and that is in the higher planetary systems. Like,
That is
for
spiritual.
example,
That is called
there is,
Mahesh Dham, Prabhuji. That is Mahesh Dham. That is spiritual.
you can call it Mahesh. It is spiritual. Even on this earth planet, also the Kailash planet, the Kailash mountain that is there, that is also spiritual. We don't have the vision to see. We see it like a snow-covered mountain, but it is spiritual world because Lord Shiva lives there. But then there is also a Mahesh Dham described in Brahma Samhita where Sadashiv lives. Sadashiv is a direct expansion of Gopishwar Mahadev from Golok Vrindavan. Original form of Lord Shiva is Gopishwar Mahadev in Golok Vrindavan. Then there is Mahesh Dham, which is just below Vaikuntha, where Lord Sadashiv lives. That is the eternal world. Just like Vaikuntha, it's not destroyed. And that Sadashiv in each and every Brahma Anda, just like each and every Brahmanda, Lord Vishnu also comes as Shirodaksha Vishnu. Similarly, in every Brahmanda, Sadashiv comes in different Rudra avatars. There are 11 Rudras in this universe. So like that. So there is one Shivadham called Kailash on Earth planet. There is one Shivadham, also can be called as Kailash or Mahesh Dham in the higher realms of this universe. And then beyond this universe, just below Vaikuntha, just below Haridham, there is Mahesh Dham, where Lord Sadashiv lives. And then again in the supreme most planet, Golok Vrindavan, Sadashiv lives as Gopishwar Mahadev in his original form. Is that clear?
Yes, Prabhuji. But within this Brahmanda, Brahma resides in Satyaloka. His dham, his residence is. Similarly, where is Kailash, Prabhuji? Which planetary system out of the 14 planetary system? Where is Kailash?
It is in the region of the Satyalok only. In the Satyalok region, there is the Prapanchik Vaikuntha, where Shirodaksha Vishnu lives. There is the Mahesh Dham or Kailash Dham, where Lord Shiva lives, Rudra lives in the higher planetary system in the region of the Satyalok. And in Brahmalok, Lord Brahma lives. These are the three predominating deities, main deities of this universe, Brahmanda. Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. And they all live in the topmost Satyalok region.
Okay, Prabhuji. Then second question, Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu is pervading everywhere now within this Brahmanda. So
No.
is there...
No. Shirodaksha Vishnu is pervading everywhere. Paramatma is Shirodaksha Vishnu, not Garbhodaksha Vishnu.
Okay. So the Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu is present in the Garbha ocean, fully spread there.
Correct.
So he is below that Patala Loka, Prabhuji, holding everything.
Yes, but he is fully spiritual.
So this Virat Rupa is a material manifestation of Krishna.
Virat Rupa is a conception of Krishna based on the structure of the material world. For example, if I tell you that there is a fire, okay? Yajna chal raha hai na? There is a yajna going on, and I tell you, look at the fire. See, look at the fire. Look at the fire, Shama Vallabhi Mataji. This flame, look at this flame. That is a peacock feather. That is the face of Krishna. Those are the hands of Krishna. He's holding a flute. He's standing in Tribhanga bending form. Have you seen those photos people share? That a yajna is going on, and in the fire they are seeing Krishna. So it is an imagination that, oh, this looks like Krishna. It's an imagination. Similarly, in this whole 14 planetary system with all its structures and components, you imagine that there is God. Now rivers are flowing like this. Oh, that is a vein of Krishna. Trees are standing erect. Oh, they are the hair of Virat Rupa. So it's an imagination. Conceptualization of Krishna in the form of Virat Rupa based on the structure of this material universe. Okay?
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Divya Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I had a question.
Your voice is cutting off, Mataji. We can't hear you, Mataji.
I think sometimes it is just described like that, and it's hard for me to understand. Patal is what? Is it a different planet?
Yes,
Is it separate from Earth planet, or is it underground?
Yeah.
Like?
No. It is far away from the Earth planet. It is way below. Just like the heavenly planets are far above us, similarly, Patal Lok is not that it's within the Earth underground. No, it is way below the planetary system. And there are different ways of traveling. There is interplanetary travel also is possible, but that requires special empowerment from the demigods. They can travel interplanetary system. Human beings cannot. Okay, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay. Last question, Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, and also thank you so much for Prabhuji. In Shloka 28, there was a line telling about all the planetary systems are there and where the chief directors of modes of material nature resides, namely Vishnu, Brahma and Shiva. So there it says like Brahma also there above the material nature. I understand Vishnu is Vishnu Tattva, Shiva is Shiva Tattva, that is my, and Brahma is Jiva Tattva. So how Brahma is also there above the planetary system?
Brahmaji is very special because Brahmaji is a pure devotee. Just like Srila Prabhupada. Is Srila Prabhupada above the modes of material nature? Yes, because Srila Prabhupada is a pure devotee. He is Acharya. He is Mamchayo Vyabhicharena Bhakti Yogena Sevate. Sa Gunan Samatitayata Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpa. They are beyond the modes of material nature, they are spiritual, the pure devotees. So in this Sampradaya, our Sampradaya, we are in the Brahma Sampradaya. Lord Brahma is our Sampradaya Acharya. So Lord Brahma is a pure devotee, he is Acharya, and therefore, because of his pure devotion, even though he is Jiva Tattva, Brahmaji is Gunatit. He is beyond the modes of material nature. He is completely spiritual. And when his service in this world is over, his 100-year lifetime is over, Lord Brahma will go to Vaikuntha along with all his associates in Brahma. That is also described in the Shastra. And Srila Prabhupada writes it. So in that sense, Brahmaji also is completely spiritual. His existence is completely spiritual because of being a pure devotee and a Sampradaya. Is that okay? Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji, that I understood. So in that way, if all the demigods are in that platform or only Brahma? Because
No,
Varuna
only
Dev.
No. Most of these demigods, devtas, they are karma mishra bhaktas. They are devotees. They are great devotees like Indra, but they are karma mishra bhaktas. But Lord Brahmaji is the Lord of all these demigods. He is not only very powerful, but he is very pure and spiritual. Hiranyakashipu, he was able to trouble and control Varuna Dev, Vayu Dev, everyone, Surya Dev. He was able to control everyone, Somadev, everyone. But he could not touch two demigods, Hiranyakashipu, with all his strength. By moving his eyebrows, he could incite fear in the hearts of all the demigods. Surya, Chandra, Indra, Varun, Vayudev, Agni Dev, everyone. But two demigods he could not touch. And that is Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. Similarly, Ravan, even Yamraj could not defeat him. Even Yamraj had to go away. He could not defeat him. But Ravan could not touch two demigods. He could not reach Satyalok and give any trouble to Brahmaji. In fact, he got his boons from Brahmaji. And he tried, but miserably failed when he tried to harm Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma, they are very special. No Jiva can be like them. Even though Brahmaji is a Jiva Tattva, but a Jiva Brahmaji is a pure devotee, and on the power of his pure devotion, Brahmaji is very special. There are 50 qualities in a Jivatma, and we have them in minute quantities, but only Brahmaji has them in full. Similarly, 55 qualities in full are there in Lord Shiva, and 60 qualities in full are there in Lord Vishnu, but only Lord Krishna has got 64 qualities. So in that way, Lord Brahma is very special compared to ordinary jivas. Also, one must note, Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, that sometimes when a qualified jiva is not present to take the position of Brahma, then Lord Krishna himself takes a guna avatar and becomes Brahma for a particular universe. So the Brahmaji of our universe is a pure devotee. He is our Sampradaya Acharya. But sometimes a suitable Brahma is not available. So then Krishna himself becomes Brahma in that universe. And therefore Brahmaji is an avatar. Na? He is a guna avatar. He is a guna avatar of Krishna, who is the superintendent of Rajogun. Shivaji is an avatar of Krishna, who is in charge of Tamogun. And Vishnu is an avatar of Krishna, who is in charge of Sattvagun. So you see how they have a special position. Varun Dev cannot claim that. Surya Dev cannot claim that. Vayu Dev cannot claim that to be a guna avatar of Krishna. But Brahmaji is a special personality. Is that okay, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu. Now it's very clear. So when no one is qualified, Krishna can sometimes take the position of Brahma or take the position of Shiva also. So I have heard of both the things.
Shiva, no, not Shiva. See, Shivaji is a different tattva. And so Krishna becomes Shiva, just like milk becomes yogurt. So Shiva is already a special form, Vishesha Yoga, Brahma Samhita says. It's a Vishesh special form of Krishna. A Jiva can never become Rudra. A Jiva can never become Shiva. A Jiva can become Brahma, but Jiva can never become Shiva. So Shiva is already a special form of Krishna. So therefore I said, Brahmaji has 50 qualities in full. Brahmaji can never have 51 qualities. But Shivaji always has 55 qualities in full. So Shivaji is superior to Brahmaji, always was, is, and always will remain superior to Lord Brahma in terms of tattva. It's a very special tattva, Rudra tattva. He's almost like Lord Vishnu. Very special. Is that okay, Mataji? You can unmute.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. Now it's very clear. So only Brahma post is different, that sometimes Krishna can take that post. No other demigods.
No, only Brahmaji. And
Okay.
Shivji is already Shivji. He is a special
Shivji.
tattva.
Yes, that very clear. Thank you, Prabhuji. I never know all this. Thank you so much. And one more thing, Prabhuji, in our sloka 34, we read that his mind is moon, the reservoir of all changes. So always to be Krishna consciousness, we want the mind to be with Krishna. So is there any Siddhanta or help or thing that we can take from moon?
Not required, because Krishna is called Deva Dev. Krishna is the lord of all the devatas, including Somadev. Now, moon has a special potency. It gives the nutrition in the fruits and vegetables at night, and moon also controls the mind. Therefore, as medical doctors, we see that on a full moon night, patients who have psychiatric problems, who have mental disorders of the mind, they get agitated sometimes. And we have more ER visits on a full moon night. Therefore, they are called lunatics. Lunar is moon, and lunatic means a person who has a mental disorder. You see, lunatic. So mind has a direct connection with the moon. This is a known fact. And so that is just the function of the mind. Somadev, he's the presiding deity of mind, like that. But we don't have to specially pray to Somadev, to moon god, because we have to pray to the Vamshaj of moon god, one who took birth in the moon dynasty, Chandravamshi, Shri Krishna Chandra. He is the original moon. He is the moon of Golok. He is Gokul Chandra. He is Golok Chandra. He is Vraj Chandra. He is Sham Chandra. You see Sham Chandra who is smiling? Sham Chandra. Sham Chandra. We pray to Gaura Chandra. We don't have to pray to Chandra. Gaura Chandra. Sham Chandra. Okay? Then Chandra Dev is also very happy. He has become Dhanya because in his dynasty Krishna is born. And Surya Dev has become Dhanya because Lord Ramchandra has taken birth in the Surya Vamsha. So Krishna is very kind. We should directly worship Krishna. Ye api anya devata bhakta yajante shraddhayanvita te api mameva kaunteya yajanti avidhi purvakam. Worship of moon god, sun god, different demigods is avidhi purvak. So we should directly worship Krishna. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, anityam asukham lokam imam prapya bhajasvama. We should always worship Krishna. Bhajanti ananya manosuri atma bhutadim avyayam. We should always worship Krishna. Aham hi sarva yajnanam bhokta cha prabhureva cha natu mam abhijananti tatvenatas javanditi. If we don't worship Krishna, then don't recognize Krishna, then we will fall down. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Bhunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyate vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sudevina. Therefore, manmana bhavamad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. You have to worship and offer obeisances to Krishna. Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam. Only Krishna. Ek bharoso, ek bal, ek aas vishwas. Ramchandra Ghanasham Chatak Tulsidas. Like that. We have to have one pointed up. Vyavasayatmika buddhi ekeha kurunam. So we have to become one pointed. Ananyas chintayanto ma. Krishna says. Ananya chintan of Krishna. No one else. Okay. Radha Krishna gatirmam. Okay, Mataji?
Yes, yes. Because sometimes I heard from some practicing devotees only, like they all are demigods, they are really powerful, so we should respect them, we can take help from them because they can recommend such statements there. But now understand that like even Krishna stopped Indra's worship and did Govardhan Puja. So it's not that they disrespect Indradev, but they respect, but they respect more Krishna and worship Krishna. So we should also be in that mood that we don't disrespect, but for us whatever Krishna does, that is enough. So even such statement comes, we shouldn't get disturbed. Is my conclusion correct?
Yes, Mataji. We respect all demigods. We respect them because they are parts and parcels of Krishna. Mama Amsha, Jiva Loka Jivata Sanatana. And we respect the demigods because they are devotees of Krishna. And they are serving Krishna in the management of this universe. So we respect the demigods. But we don't ask them for anything except Krishna Bhakti. If we are standing in front of Ganpati temple, we will say Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Then Ganeshji will be happy. Ganeshji wants to hear with his big elephant ears, he wants to hear Harinam, Yat Pada Pallava Yugam Vinidhaya Kumbha, Dvanve Pranama Samai Sa Ganadhiraja, Vignan Vihanto Malamasya Jagatrasya, Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. By offering pranam to Govinda, by holding the lotus feet of Govinda on his head, Ganeshji becomes Vignaharta for all the three worlds. So Ganeshji wants to hear the name of his Lord. Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat describes when Jagai Madai were liberated and there was a wonderful Harinam Sankirtan. Ganeshji was the first person to come there. Yamrajji came, Ganeshji came, all these demigods came, dancing in Harinam Sankirtan of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Ganeshji is a pure devotee, not just a Karmamesha, he is pure devotee. Ganeshji wrote Mahabharata. Ganeshji has written this Bhagavad Gita that we are discussing. He is the scribe. Bhagwan Krishna Dvaipayana Vyas. Ganeshji is. He is mentioned in Brahma Samhita. He is very great, pure devotee, Ganeshji. So when we stand in front of Ganeshji temple, we are not going to chant any Ganpati mantra. We are going to chant that mantra which will make Ganeshji dance in ecstasy. Chaitanya Bhagavat is the Praman. Ganesh ji is dancing to Hare Krishna Mahamantra. We will stand in front of Ganesh ji and we will chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Shankar Bhagavan came as Advaita Acharya and preached the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. We go to a Shivlingam, we go to a Shiva temple, we will chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. The beautiful Dham of Navadvip is manifesting from the heart of Srimati Radharani. In Simantdvip, Parvati Devi is taking the dust of Simantdvip, dust of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, and placing it in the partition of her hair. That is Durga Devi. We go to Durga temple, Vaishno Devi, we will chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. We will not chant some Durga Stotra and pray. No need. Durga Devi will dance in ecstasy. She will shed tears of love in ecstasy on hearing Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So no matter where we go, we chant only one mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yasmin Tushte, Jagat Tushtam. If Krishna is pleased, everyone is pleased. We don't have to do any separate endeavor. Just one mantra, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, one prayer. Radha Krishna Seva Pao Ei Abhi Nashi. Bas. Nothing else is required. Everybody is blissful. Ganesh ji is dancing. Parvati Devi is blessing. Shivaji is dancing. Surya Devi is happy. Varun Dev, dekho, when Lord Krishna went to get Nanda Baba, Varun Dev, how he did Abhishek, how he did Pranam, how he welcomed Suswagatam to Krishna. Yamraj ji, Swagatam. Mahavishnu, Swagatam. Wherever Krishna goes, everybody is welcoming and glorifying Krishna. So if we chant Krishna Naam, who is non-different from Krishna, Kali Kale Naam Rupe Krishna Avatar, everyone is pleased, everyone is blissful, because Sabke Data Krishna. He is everyone's. Ekela Ishwara Krishna, Arasara Bhritya. If we are engaged in Krishna's service, we don't have to separately endeavor. We should follow what Srila Prabhupada did. Did Prabhupada say that we should worship Surya Dev? Did Prabhupada say we should worship the moon god? No. Even the Brahma Gayatri mantra that we chant, that is not worship of Surya Dev. That Brahma Gayatri mantra that we chant, it is worship, glorification, meditation on Surya Narayan, who is giving us the effulgence of Srimati Radharani's Kanti. There is a complete purport and description of the Brahma Gayatri mantra. It is not Surya Upasana. It is Upasana of Radharani. So like that. We are worshippers of Radha and Krishna. And there is no need to do anything that Srila Prabhupada has not told us to do. Srila Prabhupada never recommended any sort of demigod worship. Wherever we go, we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. We respect all demigods. They are devotees. They are assisting Krishna in the mission. They are Krishna's servants, and so are we. But we are followers of Srila Prabhupada. We are followers of Sri Rupa Goswami. So we do pranam to everyone. Rupa Goswami also in the beginning of Bhakti Rasamrita says, pranam to Ganesh ji, and let's start. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. One prayer, Hare Krishna Mahamantra. No need to do any separate puja or separate mantra. No. We go to Hanuman Mandir, we chant Hanuman Chalisa. We go to Ganpati, we do Ganpati Stotra. We do Durga Chalisa, Shivji, Shiv Chalisa. No, not required. Absolutely not required. Everything is there in Hare Krishna Mahamantra. This nishtha we must develop today, right now. From today, I will not chant Rasna Katao Jo An Ratao. I will not chant anything except Hare Krishna Mahamantra, even if my tongue gets cut. Respect for everyone. But we should have full faith, full confidence that Hare Krishna Mahamantra has everything in it. Nothing else. Shraddha Shabde Vishwas Koila Sudrida Nischay Krishna Bhakti Koila Sarva Karma Krito hai. This is the definition of Shraddha according to Chaitanya Charitamrita. Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarva Karma Krito. Everything is achieved by doing Krishna Bhakti. Nothing else is required. This is Shraddha. And Bhakti depends on Shraddha. Ādo Shraddha. Okay? This we should follow.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Stop here now. It's very late. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai. Srimad Bhāgavatam ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Hari Hari Bol. Thank you very much.